So here I am with another surprise live. I'm trying something a little different today to hopefully that can be heard. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to make some lotion today, and I just thought that I would take you guys along for the ride. So I tried to set this thing up so that you could be seen a little bit better, because clearly my workspace is not set up to be doing these live things, but it works. It's not pretty, it's in my basement, but it works. So I started by sanitizing the things that I'm going to be using. I've done the spoons already, and I've tried to get things ready, but I'll be honest, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shit show. So anyway, let's go here. I've pre-measured a few things, but first thing that I get measured when I'm doing my lotion. Oh, let's mention this is a different recipe too. So usually I make a body cream. I love my body creams, but I decided that this time, for the summertime, I was going to try a little bit lighter recipe. So I've tweaked it because you guys love my lotion or my body cream so much. I've just tweaked the recipe slightly to make it a little bit less thick and more of a lotion. So yeah, let's hope it works. So I always start with my water. Got my trusty recipe right here. So yeah, my scale. Let's hope my phone doesn't get glitchy, because that's later on today's agenda. I have to get a new phone because my phone has really been glitchy. Probably my own fault because I broke it like 2 years ago when I first bought it, and now yeah, that's another story. So anyway, it's been a bit glitchy, so let's hope it doesn't. So I don't even know if this container is going to fit the amount of water that I need, to be honest, but let's give her a whirl. When I'm making lotion, it's one of the few things that I make that I actually overcompensate for the water. And I do that because usually I will heat this water up on the stove, which I still might do, just so I can do other stuff. I usually heat it up down here so I can watch it, but my hot plate has conked out on me, so now I have to use my stove upstairs. So I overcompensate for the water, because when you're heating the water up to the proper temperature and leaving it there to make sure that all the bacteria is off, because that's what you have to do to make lotion, you have to kind of hold that temperature for a while, and that gets as much stuff out of whatever might be in this water possible. So when you're doing that, you tend to lose some of that water. So I always overcompensate, overpour. It's one thing I'm not, like usually with my soap, I gotta be dead on with that water. Most other recipes, the ingredients are dead on. Water in my lotions, I overcompensate so that I have that little bit extra that's boiled off when I've been heating it. So yeah, so let's just, I know roughly how much I need, but I usually go, 100 or 2 grams over. And really, I've had a few times where I've had to add like 5 or 10 grams of just this water. It's not a big deal because this is distilled water, so it's usually pretty good, but I always like to take that extra step. So I had to run this upstairs, and I'm going to warm this up, which I don't usually do in the microwave, I'll be honest. Usually, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I am going to put it in one of my pots. So let's do that. But I need to get, I have new shelves down here, and yeah, I can't always remember where I put everything. I know I've got pots here somewhere, but where did I put it? No, it's not in there. Don't open that, things are gonna fall out. Alright, where did I put my big stock pots? Shoot! I know I've got them here somewhere. Oh please, they're here somewhere. Where? Oh, they're there. Usually my giant stock pots are used for soap, so I've got a couple of these big guys here. So let's just get should also put my apron on because I'm wearing a shirt that I don't want all the oils on, so I should probably put my apron on too. So weighed this water out. Not gonna bother weighing it again, but let's just put that in there. And I'm gonna be back. I just have to run upstairs and put this on the stove. Okay, here I am. Alexa, skip. I don't like that song. So I put my stove on quite low up there, because I don't want the water to get too hot. And I'll tell you, I had an experience when I first started making this. My own stupidity, to be honest. I microwaved the water, which I don't very often do, and I got the water far too hot. Well, then I thought, oh, hot is probably better for lotion, because I was new to making lotion back, like, I don't know, probably 8 years ago. So I added the hot oils to the hot water. Yeah, you can probably imagine what a disaster that was. So yeah, I lived and learned not to do that again. So you gotta keep the water on low. Okay, so let's get, when you make lotion, there is different steps to your lotion. You've got a water part, you've got a hot part, you've got a cold part, you've got things that go with things that don't go with other things. Okay, so all of my oils here, they go into my pot. There's a few things that I save for later, and I will talk about those in a minute. Let's start with our emulsifying waxes here, which I failed to grab. Okay. Okay. So, I know there's a lot of talk out there about lotions and natural lotions and stuff. So I'm going to be totally honest here. You need an emulsifier to make proper lotion. Beeswax to me is not a great emulsifier. Not for me. I want it to stick. I want these to last. You don't want the emulsion to break, because if I go through all this work of making this lotion and I don't use proper emulsifier at the proper quantities, I'm going to come down tomorrow and my lotion's going to be in 2 parts again, oils and water. The emulsifier is what binds those two together. So you need to have a proper amount, and you need to have a proper emulsifier. So yeah, I use a couple of different ones, and I've learned a few things over my time of what I like and what I don't like in some of the emulsifiers, which is a whole nother video, but I have learned a few things that I like just playing with recipes and experimenting, giving recipes to all my family to try and see how they work. The combination I use of these two happens to be my favorite. It absorbs well, it's conditioning, it works really well. And I actually have another little one that I add in there too, and that helps with the conditioning agent of the lotion. So let's add those first, because these have to definitely go in the heated phase. We need 30 grams. They don't need a whole lot of these. Or don't, depends. These will determine the thickness of your lotion as well. I hope you guys can hear me, because I just realized that my music is kind of loud back there. So, all right. Probably what I might have to do is make 2 of these, because by the time it takes me to melt all this wax, like, I'm gonna bore you guys half to death. So, anyways, I'll probably get this measured out, and then we'll melt it, and then I'll come back on again and show you putting it together. I don't know if you can see, but these are different So this recipe, along with my other one, okay, Alexa, turn it down. Alexa, turn it down. That's better. Now maybe you can hear me. So my other recipe for my body creams has coconut oil, but it is solid coconut oil, so it makes for a thicker one. So my lotion is going to have the liquid version of it. Funny enough, and I played around with ingredients for so long when I first started making lotions, and I couldn't get happy with the lotions that I was making. Couldn't for the life of me figure out what the problem was. And I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 years I played around with recipes. Hold on. Probably 2 or 3 years I played around with recipes, and I could not get the consistency and the absorption and all that I want. And I finally made one change. Okay, well that was weird. It says my video might contain music, so whatever. I changed from olive oil to coconut oil. And olive oil is wonderful for your skin. It's wonderful in soap. I don't like it in lotion. Just me. It doesn't absorb well. The olive oil is great for your skin, but it kind of sits on your skin. So coconut oil absorbs really well into the skin. So that was one big change that I made. I'm putting grapeseed oil in this because I want this to be fairly light. Grapeseeds are quite light, and I've got butters in here. So the butters. Looks like I'm having trouble here. I'm going to finish this and start again.